1800 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Prime Minister says the government will provide every possible facility to the youth to make them a stakeholder in strengthening the economy. The Information Minister says the economy stands revived and the country has been put on the path of development. The Deputy Chairman Senate has stressed for enhancing trade and business links between Pakistan and Egypt for mutual benefit of people of both the countries. On the World Humanitarian Day today, Pakistan has urged the global humanitarian fraternity to take notice of the worsening humanitarian situation in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the Indian troops in their fresh act of state terrorism martyred one Kashmiri youth in Shupaiya district today. In the United States, Democrats have formally nominated Joe Biden as the presidential candidate at the party's convention. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Imran Khan says the government will provide every possible facility to the youth to get employment and make them a stakeholder for strengthening the economy. He was talking to the Special Assistant Usman Dar and the Advisor on Finance Hafiz Sheikh in a briefing on Kamyab Jawan program in Islamabad today. The Prime Minister directed that disbursement of funds among the youth under the Kamyab Jawan program should be completed at a fast pace in a transparent manner. Imran Khan said he himself is monitoring Kamyab Jawan program, which is of vital importance to end negative impact on the country's economy due to coronavirus pandemic. Expressing satisfaction over the progress in the program, the Prime Minister asked Usman Dar to present a review report to him every month. The Prime Minister was briefed that so far 1 billion rupees have been dispersed among the youths. The Information Minister Shibli Faraz has said the economy stands revived and the country has been put on the path of development. Flanked by other cabinet members, he was addressing a news conference on the government's 2 years performance in Islamabad today. Shibli Faraz regretted that the opposition parties are trying to create anarchy and spread despondency in the country. He, however, categorically stated that the mafias and those representing them will not be spared under any circumstances. The Information Minister said the nation, which faced the difficult period steadfastly, stands by the government and all the conspiracies will be foiled through their support. He expressed confidence that fruits of development will reach the masses soon. The Minister for Science and Technology, Fawad Chaudhry, has said they have been striving to transform Pakistan into a manufacturing economy by promoting the logo of Made in Pakistan. He said Pakistan has become one of the major exporters of personal protective equipment in a matter of 6 months. The minister said the ministry has set the target to develop 500 agriculture farms utilizing modern technology to promote non-conventional crops to enhance the agri-exports. He said our target is to establish a special economic zone for electromagnetic industry in Sialkot to enhance the exports of surgical items to $2 billion in a year. The Minister for Water Resources, Faisal Wauda, said the government has launched long-term mega water projects including Dasu, Mamand, Diamir, Bhasha dams to address the country's water-related issues. The minister said his ministry has initiated projects worth 1.1 trillion rupees, including construction of 112 small dams in the country. The minister said the government is also securing the country's rights vis-a-vis on India on the Indus Water Treaty. The Minister for Maritime Affairs Ali Zaidi, briefing the media about the 2 years performance of the government, said international companies are approaching to work with the government after the introduction of new shipping policy as per the vision of Prime Minister Imran Khan. The Deputy Chairman Senate Salim Mandiwala has underlined the need for enhancing trade and business links between Pakistan and Egypt for mutual benefit of the people of both the countries. He was talking to the ambassador of Egypt in Islamabad today. The deputy chairman said both the countries need to explore the possibilities of boosting trade and economic cooperation, including promotion of tourism. He said Pakistan appreciates Egyptian support on the Kashmir issue and underscored the need for making joint efforts to promote peace and security at the regional and global levels. This is Radio Pakistan. Pakistan has urged the global humanitarian fraternity to do everything it can to ameliorate the worsening humanitarian situation in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. In a statement issued on the World Humanitarian Day today, the Foreign Office spokesperson Zahid Hafiz Chaudhry said the international community should play a role for lifting the year-long draconian military siege and provision of unfettered access and assistance to the Kashmiri people in dire need of health care. The spokesperson said, "We reiterate the need for evolving a strategic approach to address humanitarian emergencies, preventing conflicts from eruption, and peacefully resolving long-standing disputes and conflicts." He said Pakistan and its people have shown exemplary generosity, compassion and hospitality in hosting more than 3 million Afghans for over 4 decades. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the Indian troops in the fresh act of state terrorism martyred one Kashmiri youth in Shopaiya district today. The troops martyred the youths during a cordon and search operation in Mulu area. The operation was in progress when last reports came in. Meanwhile, the Jammu and Kashmir Muslim Khawateen Markaz, a constituent of the All Parties Hurriyat Conference, has strongly condemned the assault on 2 Muslim farmers by Hindu extremists in Raisi district. According to Kashmir Media Service, the All Parties Hurriyat Conference leader and the Muslim Khawateen Markaz chairperson Yasmin Raja, in a statement in Srinagar, said RSS BJP communal mindset is targeting Muslims in Jammu region, and the Indian police and army authorities are backing such extremists in several districts of Jammu. On the other hand, the blasphemous remarks by BJP leader Satpal Sharma in Raisi area of Jammu continue to evoke more condemnation. Jammu and Kashmir National Front, while condemning Satpal Sharma, has said the Bharatiya Janata Party's Hindutva agenda has started showing its true colors in the occupied territory. In the United States, Democrats have formally nominated Joe Biden as the presidential candidate at the party's convention. With the 4-day convention largely virtual due to coronavirus, delegates from around the country cast votes remotely to confirm Joe Biden as the nominee. Over 22 million cases of COVID-19 infections have so far been reported across the world, and the pandemic has claimed more than 780,000 lives. At least 13 million people are now considered to have recovered. The United States is the worst-hit country with 171,833 deaths from more than 5 million cases. The World Health Organization has underlined the importance of global solidarity in addressing COVID-19 crisis. The World Health Organization chief Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said in Geneva that he has written to the member states urging them to join the COVAX Global Vaccine Facility, a mechanism aimed at guaranteeing fair access for all countries. He said while there is a wish amongst the leaders to protect their own people first, the response to this pandemic has to be collective. In the West African country Mali, the soldiers who ousted the civilian government in a military coup late yesterday have promised to restore stability and oversee a transition to elections within a reasonable time. The spokesman for the soldiers who ousted President Ibrahim Boubacar Keita and dissolved the parliament, Colonel Ismail Wag, said they acted to prevent country from falling further into chaos. Meanwhile, the West African's 15-nation regional bloc has suspended Mali's membership and closed its borders with it. And finally, the weather. Mainly hot and humid weather is likely to prevail in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, rain, wind, thunder showers are expected in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Upper Central Punjab, Potawar region, Islamabad, Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.